Let there be light, and there was light. Okay, let there be light in what we are doing here on these presentations on the Crimey Queen channel. Welcome if this is your first time. Welcome if it is your 500th time. Welcome, just welcome. And I'm thanking you all for joining us on the Crimey Queen channel. This is where we are having fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. This is where we actualize self-full love with the use of scriptural references from the King. We might as well change it. I was about to say from the Queen James Version. I think this is what Mother Eve is about, you know, changing things, as she says, count backward. So we are, it's from the King James Version of the Holy Bible. Of course, King is number 5, so we can see there is a connection with Mother Eve in that sense. So perhaps King was really meant to be queen in that sense. Okay, but Mother Eve is really number 5, just like King, just like Christ, or snake, Buddha. I think Buddha. All right, let's just, I want to ensure that I've got this correct, but I really believe so. Buddha, and this is 9 and 8, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I think I have counted 22 for Buddha, but I'm going to double check. So this is 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 8. Let's do this again. So this is 8 plus 9 is 17. This would be 20 and 22. So Buddha is 22. Buddha was a master number. Okay. So 8 and 8, 16, 17. That's correct. All right. So I had made reference to Buddha before. So it's really 22 and not 23. 22 actually coincides with number 2 on the sacrifice template. So I have just been covering past, present, future, and I'm seeing perhaps it's I'm guided to do this in a way that we can get an idea how we process our information, or what we do, how we do what we do. So basically, if we like my doing this presentation right now, it does entail my past and my future. It does entail my desire that I became conscious of wanting to know more, or do more, or think more, whichever more that was. So my past, my past experience of what I was learning. So basically, my past experience of being able to speak, being able to communicate, being able to read and write is all here. But it's also in the present here. In the present is that, oh, I just heard the word recent as well. So it's like recent past. That's what Mother Eve is saying. Because there's a recent, but it's like saying recent, like SCENT instead of SENT. But the S, basically, it's Mother Eve making her presence felt once more. Where we see S, particularly in the middle of a word, is Mother Eve. She is very present. This is being very present in present. That's the symbol of the serpent, the symbol of the snake right there. The double-headed, or one head and a tail, but it's the 2 ends. Okay. So in the present, as I say, the past is making a reference. It's making a reference in the circle. In the middle of it is the reference of the future, of not just the future, it's the reference of what is present as AS, meaning it's like as the serpent. It's got two aspects. So this has two numerical value. 1 1. It's like in the word like Sarah, or SA like sacrifice, or any SA, we are seeing that it is mirroring the SA right here, or as. So the past is, as I say, the P is representing people or person, or anything like that. So it's representing 7. Seven is actually 2. So when we do the numerical value for 7, SEVEN, it is 1, and it has Mother Eve in the middle of it. So that's very important we remember this. 5 4 5 5. When we add this together, this is 10, 15, 20. So this is 2. This 20 is really 2. And 2 is really, this is where Christ said to Peter, upon you I will build my rock. So you actually is 7. The word you equals 7. And so we see that there were 2. This comes to the same u. It is 7, 6, 3. When we add this together, 9 plus 7 is 16. So 1 plus 6 equals 7. This is where the great minds have worked wonders in numerology and the King James Version of the Bible. The version of King James Bible is that the numerical values, I think when people have been doing this, why people, I have not encountered anyone to find that or decode this in the way I have. I'm sure there are people who have done it and who knows, and there are books on numerology as well, which I haven't really encountered. I'm just going by what I am seeing and living in what I read through Mother Eve. But when Christ said, upon you, meaning I will build my rock, we see the U equals 7. It is saying, upon 7 I will build my rock. It is on the 7 chakras I will build my rock, or the 7 visible planets, whatever it was, that 7 that Christ was talking about. He's saying, upon that 7 I will build my rock. But the rock is also 2, and there we see that coincides perfectly with what I have said, that there are 2 sevens in our makeup, 2 sets of 7 gods in our makeup, and it's upon these 2 7 sets of makeup of the gods that Christ has built his church. The church, which is our this is church. When I always say to people, when we are in fellowship, talking, greeting each other, we are doing church. And I don't recall doing the numerical value for church, but I want to concentrate on here. I want us to see, to understand that when someone says you, they are referring to you as 7, which has 2 aspects of 2 parts of you in that 7, which coincides with the 14 gods that I have discovered in Genesis of chapter 1 and 2. So there it is right here. And this is where I say the message of Christ, which is number 5, Christ, was really that of his mother, which is Eve, and is also 5 or 14. When we add 1 plus 4 also equals 5. So here we also see that this here is very present. When we say present, we have actually taken in consideration the 14 gods in our present state. Our present is really, we see the serpent here in the middle of the word present. We see the T at the end of the word present. Let's do this in contrast. Okay, so this is T. We have present. We have the serpent in the middle. Of course, that is Eve. There are 3 5s in the word present. Wherever we see 3 5s, we know very much that the Eve is right there. This is the 15 one. That's the said God is there. So the 2, as I say, the way I see it is that the last letter is, it's as if it's giving the summary. That's the word. It's giving the summary of what is. So it's 2. And then the first letter is giving an introduction of what is. That's 7. So it's saying 2 7s of whatever is here is, it consists of that which is right there, the whole. That's the makeup of the words that I have just not too long embarked on the constructs of the words that way. And that really was with the aid of Mother Eve as the serpent, as the S that begins the word sacrifice. So when we hear that Christ sent his only begotten Son to die for us, this is the serpent, this is the S. The sacrifice is telling you that the S is right there. This is when you have a Kundalini experience, the serpent takes its rise. We see the serpent in every culture that we can think of. I think every culture has that. And what I discovered not too long ago, that the word worship in Christianity, which is very much part of the service or lifestyle, is the serpent is in the middle of it. It's in the middle of the word worship. And that is very interesting. I'm going to, of course, do more presentations around that. So we are looking at now, as I say, we were looking at past, present, and future. So we see the past again. The PT has the same as PT here with past. So, and of course the T as well at the end, which is 2. 2 is also 4, because this is our north, our south, our east, our west. We see that 2 is 4. 2 becomes 4, especially on the sacrifice template. The sacrifice template is very, very robust that way. So this is where we see 2. This is the column for 2. It is 4 because the B here, it is B. B here equals number 13. B is 13. When 13, it has not really got the equal sign, but it really is 13 that denotes the 13 at the table of the Last Supper. And 1 plus 3 is 4. So this is where we see that this template as the sacrifice template, which has exactly 9 letters and exactly 9 letters to 9 numbers, has worked out very robust in explaining a lot of the mysteries of the numbers to us. It is really wonderful. We also always call revelation into being in what we are doing, and waters to help us be transparent as well. So waters, of course, is Mother Eve. And revelation is actually number 13 when we do the numerical value for revelation, which is also 4. So basically, when we look at our north, south, east, and west, we are doing revelation. We are doing all aspects of ourselves here. So the P, the person, or the present, or the people, are as this in the past. So when you are looking at the past, people saying you are looking at the past, but you are also taking your present state into the past. That is why it is always important that you look at the past with an objective notion to know what to leave and what to cleave to, so to speak. So there is a state where we could say you are being the observer, but of course you have to be the observer to be able to see the whole north, south, east, and west in this. You are taking your present state here, or your 4 points or 2 points, however you look at it, is not without its past, because the as is in the middle of it. The as in the middle is taking your present state with it. So you may split, if you want to say, look at it that way. I'm thinking about how you split your past and your present, because of course you need to do that to form your present. But we can see the P. You are carrying your person or your people state, which is 7, is always with you, no matter whether you were in the past or the present. So when you are in the past and the present, you are still taking your person state with you. Now, I have looked at future in another presentation, the first presentation. In fact, it makes me wonder why I did look at future first. But there's what we see in all these past, present, and future. We have in each word we have the T. That again is confirmation of the seven gods always with us. The 7, which is also 2. When we do the numerical value for 7, we see it equals 2. That means it's the 2U or your W or your because when we say W or you are my W, this is a reflection. You are being a reflection of myself. But there is that 14 aspect. It's like we are ripple effects of each other, ripple images or reflections of each other. So we see that is very much, as I say, U equals 7. We see that here. And it is, of course, comes to 16. 1, 6. The number 1, when we do the numerical for value for 1, it equals, so 1 is 655. That equals 16. So we can see 1 as part of the 16 is still 7. So you are 1, you are still 7. And when you are 6, you are still 7. So in you offers us the 2 aspects of the 2 7 sets of gods that we are. Mother Eve is really working now. So you, Y-O-U, when we do this, 7, 6, 3, we add this together. This is 9 and 7. We have done this 16. We have it right here, 16. So of the 16, we take the 1. We have done this. We have seen how 1 equals 7, which is 16 as well, 16. And then for 6, let's do S, which is the serpent. The serpent is there to prove everything to us. So this is 1, 9, 6. When we add 19 plus 6, 19, 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 6 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. I hadn't realized that 16 was so powerful. I hadn't realized that. In fact, someone told me this, but I hadn't realized that 16 was so powerful. Of course, wherever Mother Eve is at the start of this or even as the O, because the O is where she wraps her, she swallows her tongue, so to speak. That's where she bites her, or she has her tongue, her tail rather, in her mouth. Tail and tongue are the same. Tail and tongue has the same numerical value. Tongue is 10. Yes. Wow. Tongue is 10. We have done this before. Oh. Okay. TAIL is 3912. So this is 10, 13, 14, 15. Oh, it is 6. So tail is 6. Okay. So that makes sense. So 6, of course, is 7. So that's the sense of wholeness here. So she swallows her tongue, and that is also a sense of wholeness right there. Wow, 6. 6, of course, is 7. And if we were to do the numerical value for 7, we see that also is 2, meaning 2 sets of the gods right there. So Mother Eve, having the tail in her tongue, is really saying, I have mastered the art of the 14 gods. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I hope we are getting this. I hope we are getting this. I really do hope we are getting this. So past, present, future. It would be, it seemed that it would make sense to look at each individually and then consolidate the 3, but we are looking at the 3 in one as well. So I have done part 1, which is more on the future, breaking down the future, where we see that we have the 2 U's here, the W, but in that W we are offered the eye view, or the window to see the W on 2 sides, we could say. This is where, when we project our visions and words and whatever it is, it gives us an opportunity to see the freeze, how they vibrate or how they would marry. So I call this part here the utter. This is where we utter. Right here, U-T-U-R. But the R, so is U-T-U. Mean it's like the 2 vibrations here. But we see R-E here is beginning and end. So we can have this U-T-U. Of course, we go with this is like a broken, the T, the F, I have done this. This is the face, the front of how we are viewing something. So F is 6, and we have done E for 5. We have added these 2 ends together. We see that they are giving us the picture of number 11 is 2 aspects of ourselves. Again, the 2 ones. If we do 1, we have 7. 1 for 1 hair equals 7, which we have just done. And there's the other one, of course, would be 7. So 7 plus 7 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. This is in 5. We consolidate the gods in 5 with Mother Eve. Right here, because Mother Eve equals 5. Or Christ, we could say Christ, C-H-R-I-S-T. Christ is also 5. All right, so we are looking at that here. So basically the future offers us, when we use the word future, or when we are referring to future, it offers us the manner to utter what we want into being, what we want to birth with the R at the end, because this is where we are with 9-5. This is beginning. 9 is beginning, and 5 is end. But 5 is end. It's also key. It's also lock. It's also hut. It's house. It's home. It's there are so many words around 5. It's also power. 5 is also power. So while we have beginning here, beginning also as 9 would be, I'm thinking of words that is 9. Okay, they don't quite come. 9, head. So basically head and feet and hands are 9. So there we are dealing with 9, which is the beginning. So you begin here with T. The cross is always, which is T, offering us to look at the beginning on the 4 points, our 4 points. Or even when we say 3 points too, we could even say 3 points, because Mother Eve is always at the base here. Mother Eve is the number 2, as we have seen with 7. So in this cross, she's always at the base of our feet. She is, this is why it is said that the serpent was cast to the ground. So we are, once we are grounded, it's like we are at liberty to look at those 3, which is new, NEW. This is where we are doing our news. So of course south is here, and depending if we are doing news, S is here. When we are doing new, we are doing NEW. We are with our north, south, east, west. We perhaps are not too bothered about knowing about the south. That's when we are grounded. When we are grounded, the S in itself, we could almost see, there was a picture that came to mind that the S was doing something like this. It's as if it was, oh, let's do it another way. The S was really doing this symbol right here. It's as if it's with the third eye open, with your third eye activated right here. It is that you are able to do your north, east, and west quite easily while you just lay on your back right here. And that gives, you could imagine that's your feet, your knees are here, your back is here, and your head is up. And you are grounded. Your feet is flat on your surface, whatever it is. So I like this symbol actually. I don't know, I don't know if there's such a symbol around. I'm sure there probably is, but I do like this. It kind of reminds me of something we could do as a visualization technique. When you are on your bed with your knees up, just relaxed, and your feet flat, whether you're on the ground, and you are doing north, east, west, knowing that the serpent is in you, supporting your makeup. I think that's beautiful. With your 2 U's, your W. So this is where the cross is. And so I like the aspect of the two sets, the 2 ends. So the 2 ends are coming together. When the 2 ends are together, we could see with like they were overlapping each other here. They are in unison to forming number 5. So basically we could say 11 is 5 right here. We see how 1 is 7, 1 is 7, And this is how we can say that 11 is also 5, because 5 is Mother Eve. 5 is key. We could say 11 is key. I wish I could just break this in bite sizes here, but the information is coming and everything is marrying so well. So, of course, when we look at this UTU, that would be 3 plus 3 here, 3, 3, and 2. So that would be 8. Let's just put the 2 here. 3 plus 3 is 2. 3 plus 3 is 6, excuse me, plus 2 is 8. We would be having the 8-petal flower right here. So basically, the future offers, when we think of the future, it offers us a chance to form an 8-petal flower. And perhaps that's what we are doing in every point of our thoughts. I think every thought we think in a future tense is giving us the opportunity, or we are automatically forming an 8-petal flower, which births into whatever RE, which is 14, which is Mother Eve, which is lock, key, and it's giving us the result right there. So future hair is really a wonderful way to see how we are consciously visualizing something into being. I think this is very useful exercise. It is a very useful exercise right here. Now, if we added, and it would make no difference whatsoever if we added the R with this that we have added here, the 8, because 8 plus 9 would be 17. This is where we would be doing God, because 17 is 1 plus 7 is 8. So basically, the future is something very valuable in its sense, because we are able to do God right there. Wow. Okay. Do join me again. We need to explore this further, and because the way we want to really understand this is to help us understand Mother Eve even more. I hope you have found something valuable for the future, on the past and the present in this exercise. Okay. Oh, thank you so much.